Do you want the secret sauce on how to make music for TV and film, even though you may not know music theory or know how to play an instrument? This is it right here. Let's go. All right, so let's hop right into it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with our chord progression. So this is just a way to start the song, get the chord progression that you want. So, and the rest will just fall into place as long as you have an ear for music, right? So let's start with the chord progression. So we're going to go to Claude. You can use ChatGPT, you can use any AI tool to do the same thing, but I asked it to create a brief. So I'm currently doing a music for some minimal tension underscore work for a show that's all about, digging up historical artifacts and uncovering mysteries and things like that. So there's a lot of like minimal tension type stuff. I asked it to create a brief for me. So you can see here the genre is cinematic, ambient, minimal, for dialogue scenes, right? Pulsing, the instruments that might be used, all of that kind of stuff, right? So here we have the music brief. I'm just going to ask Claude, I'm going to be like, could you suggest at least 3 different chord progression options with an A and B section for this brief? There we go. All right. So it's going to do it for us, right? Even if you don't know music theory, it'll at least give you the chord progressions, and I'm going to show you some tools in FL Studio that you can use. I'm going to use some from Unison, actually, to make this. All right, so here we go. It's coming up with them. It's saying D minor. It's giving us some... Sometimes it'll even give you different... You can choose your key, right? It'll give you like A minor, D minor, or... C minor, like gives you choices. All right, so it's going to give us 3 options. So here's the A section, here's the B section. Looks like it's writing it in D minor. So at least for the option 1. So there's the establish and the reveal. This one's deep unease. And let's see what the other one is. A minor, the chamber, suspended time. So then, you just kind of choose which one speaks to you the most, which mood you're going for the most. I'm just going to make this easy, and we're going to go with option 1. So D minor, G minor, B flat major 7th, and then A minor is our A section. So let's start with that. What we're going to do is we're going to use a tool called Unison, or called, MIDI Wizard from Unison. So we're opening this guy up right here. It doesn't really matter what genre you pick, but we know we're in D minor. We're going to go to just chords, and we're just going to go with full chords, 8 bars. Okay, and we're going to hit the button. But this is a 4-chord structure, so we just want to build it into 4 chords, 4 bars per chord, or 1 measure per chord. Here we go. So we're going to start off with, I think it was D minor first. We're going to take off that 9th. There we go, right? You just click on it and you can choose the chord. Then we have G minor, B flat major 7th. So G minor, we're just choosing G minor. B flat, oh, it's already on B flat. We just need to add that major 7th. And then what was the last chord? Looks like it goes to A minor after that, right? So then we're just going to go to A minor here. Okay. All right, so we have our chord structure for our A section. Let's give a listen and see what that sounds like. Oh, hold on, I gotta change it to song mode. Here we go. Six is kind of weird. Is that what they said? Oh, there shouldn't be a 6. That's why. All right. So we're just going to change this back. We're going to take the 6th off of it. I didn't notice it there. All right, cool. So now I've already have a pad sound picked out, and I used a tool called Unison Synth for this one. What's really cool about this tool is you can hit this button and it'll just give you new sounds. So currently I have this sound selected if I wanted a new sound, I could, and you could choose your genre here, whatever types of sounds you want. But you can always just choose a new sound. I hate that, but if you like the sound you had before, you can hit this back button, and it returns it back to the original sound. So that's pretty cool, and it has, I get all my basses from here. You can see you can pick bass, chord, lead, pluck, all of those, plus pad. So we're going to do a pad. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our MIDI Wizard. I'm going to hit this little power button right here, and what that does is it shuts it off so it's not playing any sound. And we're going to open up our pad sound that I selected earlier, and we're just going to drag and drop the MIDI in. Cool, so we have that. Now let's do part 2. So we're just going to clone this, and chords 2 is fine. This will be for our B section. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get rid of the chords that are in that piano roll, and we're going to open up MIDI Wizard again. And the chords that I currently have, I'm going to link this to group 1. Now what that allows you to do is when you want to add other sounds like plucks, melodies, things like that, it can actually generate some ideas for you, because you can hit the melody or the hybrid, rhythm, any of those types of keys. We'll do a demo on that in a minute, but first I want to get this B section down, right? So, but we've added this to group 1, and I'm actually going to open up another instance of MIDI Wizard. There we go. All right. And we're going to go back to chords. We're going to do full. We're going to do 8 bars. We're going to do, what are we in? D minor, I believe. Here we go. All right. So there we go. This one has it in more chords, so we're just going to get it to 4 chords again. And this is ambient tension, so there's no need to have a lot of chord changes. You can always get as creative as you want, add different chords, play with this, make it your own, right? You could just start with what Claude is giving you or whatever AI tool you're using. You can get as creative as you want with it, but at least it gives you a good starting point. All right, so let's see what the next chord progressions are. F major 7th, E minor 7th with a flat 5. All right, let's start with the F major 7th. So F major 7th, there we go. What was the next one? E flat major, hold on, I'm trying to remember. E minor 7th with a flat 5. All right. E minor 7th with a flat 5, which would be the same as diminished if I'm unable to just flat the 5. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm not seeing that as an option. So we're going to go with, no, that's not going to work. E minor 7th with a flat 5. I'll just find the 5 and I'll flat it. All right. And then, all right, so E minor 7th. Oh, did I mess it up? Give me one sec. F major 7th. So I think I messed it up. F major 7th. Here we go for the first one. E minor 7th. We'll flat the 5 in a little bit. Yeah, I'm surprised I don't see that option here. All right, and then the next one is B flat major 7th, which it already is. Well, that makes it easy. And then the last chord, we're going to go with D minor to resolve it. And it's already on D minor. All right, so I'm going to mute this. I'm going to drag this into the sound that we have, the pad sound. I'm just going to drag the MIDI over. Now to do the flat 5, I guess you do need to know a little bit of music theory, but nothing too crazy here, right? So what was the chord again? It was E minor 7th, flat 5. So E minor, hold on, why isn't this playing? Give me one sec. Oh, I have it on Unison instead of, no, that's where it needs to be, Unison. Here we go. Hold on, 1 second. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Let's open up. Oh man, I'm having trouble here. There we go. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. All right. So we got to drag it over again. So we're going to open this back up. Drag and drop MIDI. Here we go. I'm just not sure why it's not playing. Give me 1 second. Should be. Okay. All right. So E minor 7th, we want to flat the 5, and that's the second chord. So E minor. Oh, it looks like it's up here. So here is the 5th is the, if you just count up, right? You have your E, which is the bass of an E minor 7th. The third, the minor third is this G, and then the 5th is this B. If we flat the 5, that will make it an E minor 7th with a flat 5. So let's listen to what all of it sounds like together and see if we have a good chord progression. If not, we can always go back and change it manually. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of hopeful in the middle. It should be an interesting mix. It's a little bit of tension and release. I think these chords will work. I don't like the sound necessarily. There was some harsh frequencies in the high section, or maybe I'll just bring it down the octave. But I think this is a good start, right? One thing you can do in FL Studio, once you know what key you're in, is you can go over here to, let's open up the piano roll real quick. You can go to this little music note up in the corner, and you want to right click. And we're going to choose minor because we know we're in minor. We're just going to go minor harmonic. And then right click again, and we're going to change this to D. And what this does is, in order to ensure that you're still in the key of D minor with every note that you hit, all of the ones, I'm not sure if you can see this well, but there's dark gray and there's light gray. All of the light gray lines, like this A, for example, is part of the D minor scale. So, if you're just trying to choose notes and something sounds off, if you stick to the light gray notes, you're going to be in the key. So hopefully that helps. And you can always, use your creativity and go out of the key and go out of that scale, to have some interesting chord changes or melody changes. But at least that gives you a good base to start with if you don't know a lot about music theory. All right, so real quick, this is the next day and I'm still working on this beat, but I wanted to show you how those chord progressions that we came up with, that A and B section, actually sounds when it's close to being finished, right? So I replaced those chords with another sound. I just went with like a string ensemble, added a bass to it, and then just added like a little piano line, some drums, some Rhodes, a nylon guitar, and this is just like a reverse cymbal, right? So here's what it all sounds like together. All right, so you can hear all of that's coming together, right? It's starting to fit the brief. The chord progressions that we came up with through Claude work really well for this. I made a few tweaks to like the bass and things like that. You'll notice in this first section, I just kept the bass on the root note, just on D the entire time. And then when we got to the B section, I actually went with the chords and just used the bass note for the chords. That typically works really well for tension music if you're ever doing this type of underscore tension type stuff. the same bass note over and over. Works pretty well for it, and you just add the variety in the chords that are above it and all of that. And then when you do a change, it makes the change more obvious because you've changed the bass notes. So I hope this has helped. If you are interested in this kind of stuff, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can join me over in the Music Money Mindset group in school. I will include a link there as well, where we go over all of this, how to make music for TV and film. We go over, even more importantly than that, we go over the mindset that you need to become the person who can actually make money from their music. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, come join me over there. There's links in the description. All right, and I'll see you in the next video.